Ryan Clark talks about something that the Browns are going to need if they're going to be successful. That 1-2 punch in the backfield running the football.
I think it's hard to not say it's the Cleveland Browns. We have to think about who Kareem Hunt was before he became a Cleveland Brown. In Kansas City, he was one of the top rushers in the NFL. He was a guy who was a Pro Bowler, and obviously he had his off-the-field issues, which set him back, which is how he ended up in Cleveland. And also Nick Chubb. To me, Nick Chubb is a top 2 or 3 running back in this league. There's power, there's speed, there's burst, there's finish. And so I think when you have that sort of 1-2 punch, also with the pass, with the run blocking that the Cleveland Browns possess, you have to put those guys at number one. I think you can also mention guys like Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. I think now as they start to continue to play, as A.J. Dillon finds a place in that offense in the power running game, that's also a duo to me that you have to look to and say, okay, they could be ascending and they could be one of those duos that becomes mentioned with the Kareem Hunts and the Nick Chubb. But for right now, I believe that duo as 2 players, having that elite rusher in Nick Chubb, that all-pro caliber rusher, and also a Pro Bowl-like player in Kareem Hunt, I don't believe there's another team in the NFL that possesses that 1-2 punch.
All right, Tim, we're going to take it a step further. CBS Sports top 10 NFL running back rotations. So they're going to say Chubb, Hunt, and Dearness Johnson are number 1 in the NFL. And that's kind of interesting, and it's one of the reasons that Andrew Berry does not want to trade Kareem Hunt. Close call with the Colts, but the Browns have done serious damage when given RB1 duties to either of the 3. It's a nice luxury to have, especially, Tim, if you're thinking you're not going to have your starting quarterback for a significant portion of the season.
Definitely. I mean, we know that, if Jacoby Brissett's the guy, the Browns are going to probably run much more than they have in the past, which I'm sure will, make some people happy. The fans that are always shouting at, the Browns or whatever to run the ball, they're probably going to get plenty of it this year. And with the way the rotation's set up, it's going to be important for them to kind of continue to spread the wealth around so that Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt don't get worn down with carries, because we've seen both of them be affected by injuries the past couple seasons. They're going to ultimately need both those guys, and they're both incredible talents. I mean, we see Nick Chubb's got the complete package as far as speed, power. He knows how to find the hole and get up top speed. We see him just go for big runs. He's tough to bring down off first contact. And Kareem Hunt, very good in the run game and also a very effective receiver when he gets the football in his hands. I mean, we saw in the Bears game a year ago just a lot of the tools that he has. I mean, it's easy to forget how good he was in Kansas City, considering, he's kind of the number 2 back in this room behind Nick Chubb. And of course, it's also easy to forget Dearness Johnson and what he did when both Hunt and Chubb were out in that game against the Broncos. He didn't have a lot of big runs, but he had a lot of good runs and really kept the ball moving, kept the chains moving in a game where, the Browns had to start Case Keenum and just were not able to do as much through the air. Maybe it's a similar situation with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. And if that is the case for 12 or 17 games or however long this is, those 3 guys are going to need to be tremendous if the Browns are going to go places.